Larry Wheels, love him or hate him, you have to admit the guy is an absolute freak. He is one of the all-round strongest and most talented athletes walking the earth. Larry is the real deal. In this video, I will be critiquing one of Larry's heavy bench sessions where he works up to 295 kilos, that is 650 pounds, with a competition pause. A fun fact about me, I pulled my very first 400 kilogram deadlift with Larry Wheels. Let me know if you notice any familiar faces in the background. That was one hell of a deadlift party. Now, obviously, Larry is an absolute beast. He's strong, he's jacked as hell, but my goal for this video is to look at his technique to see if there's things that you should be looking to replicate on your own journey to a massive bench press. We're gonna get rolling now. Make sure you like this video, drop a comment, let me know if you think Larry Wheels is the real deal, and of course, subscribe to your mum's favorite channel on YouTube, Cole Strength. Let's do this.
Just straight weight, small gym PR, pause bench with the commands. Then we're out of here, and this is the last heavy training cycle of this training prep.
Right, so it's his last training session before competition specific with commands. And look guys, Larry's a beast and he's warming up with an empty bar. Empty bar, 20 kilos. If he can do it, you can do it too. Absolutely, there's no shame in that. Just greasing the groove, baby. Getting everything warm. Typically we get lots of repetitions in with these first couple of sets when the weights are light. And you'll see he's not locking out all the way, right? I get a lot of people ask me why I don't lock out my reps all the time. So we'll take a moment to talk about that. So when it comes to warming up, when it comes to repetition work, what can happen when we exaggerate the lockout, when we really force the elbows locked a little bit too hard, especially when the weights are light, it's a bit too easy and we can really over-exaggerate. That throws us out of position, increases our risk of injury, and obviously increases the chances of us missing the lift, okay? Especially if we do that when it's heavier. So typically you'll see athletes when they're warming up, when they're doing high repetition work, they don't typically lock out all the way. Okay, now it's not because they're not strong enough to, it's not that they're performing 3/4 reps, it's just the most efficient way to do things while staying in the right position. You'll see as it starts getting heavier, as he starts hitting singles especially, he'll most likely lock out each and every single rep, just like he would in competition to be super specific. So we'll have a look, he'll have 120 kilos. See how many reps he does here. It's a good position to be in. Just singles. So he's just going to hit singles now. He did a lot of reps with that empty bar with 70 kilos. Again, singles. He's locking them all out now, okay? So there's no problem there. They're full range of motion reps with a pause. Now, one thing I will say about Larry is that so far what I'm seeing is he's rushing his setup. Now, he's an excellent athlete, he's extremely strong, and he's a great bench presser. He bench presses more than me. My all-time PR is 260 kilos. This guy's about to bench 295 kilos with a pause. So there's no doubt he's a strong guy, but if I was hypothetically coaching Larry or coaching an athlete, I would have them slow down with that setup. Make sure everything's perfect. You know, he's taking 1 to 2 seconds to set up. And I don't think that's enough time to be in the perfect position. And what that can lead to is inconsistencies with the setup, which leads to inconsistencies with the repetitions, right? So setup is extremely important. He's obviously been doing this for a long time and he's very good at it. But if we were to pick it apart and say, what could be improved here? His bench press is actually fantastic, but the setup would definitely help him with consistency and being in a better overall position to execute heavy bench presses. So could he bench press more weight with a better setup? I would say quite possibly yes, but we'll have to have a look. One thing good that I'll say is he's extremely efficient on the eccentric. Okay, extremely efficient, something that I like to teach is that once you have mastered the technique and the movement and you're very comfortable with it, to increase the bar speed on the way down without losing control, right? He's very good at that. He's very good at bringing the barbell down with speed. What's that doing? Well, he's avoiding being under tension for too long, which means he's preserving his energy for the press, for the hard part, right? If you take too long to come down, too much time under tension, it's taking away your energy, and you're going to be weaker when you need to be strong for the press. So one thing he does really well is he brings the barbell down with intent, but he also stops it dead, pauses it really well, maintains a great position, and presses it. Okay, so he does a great job there, but we'll see what it looks like as it continues to get heavier. Let's go.
We're going to slowly work up to 650. That will be a
295
15-pound pause bench PR with command. I'm not counting touch and go reps with elbow wraps on. I'm not doing that no more. After injuring myself with 320 kg, 705, I decided it serves no purpose. That was just for the gram, feed the ego, and moving forward, I explained in my last video on YouTube about when I discussed anabolics, my priorities, that I really want to take the next few years, at least till I'm 30, to focus on being a better athlete in competition, not just smoking gym PRs and unorthodox ways, and just to get a good Instagram video. It's not worth it. And when I get to the competition, I want to feel better than I did in training.
So I just want to talk about that for a moment. Now, Larry here is showing some real maturity and some growth right now. I think people tend to forget how young he is. And he was in the spotlight from a very young age, early 20s. And he's still in his 20s, I'm pretty sure, late 20s, perhaps 27 at the moment. He's still young. And he was in the spotlight, and I think, when there's a lot of pressure on you, you tend to get influenced by, let's say, negative things and negative people around you. So I think it's great to see that he is growing up now. He's getting a little older, a little wiser, and his goals are perhaps shifting. Now he's understanding that perhaps he doesn't have to be the clown in the circus, not in a disrespectful way, right? He's obviously doing some crazy things, and he's pulled off some crazy feats of strength, stuff that is mind-blowing. But what I'm seeing here is a change of focus, like he wants to do something with a bit more meaning behind it, something a little bit more official, and he's changed his training, he's adapted his training to achieve that, which takes a lot of discipline, right? Because he had achieved so much success doing what he was doing, but it wasn't serving his purpose or his goals no longer. And he realized that, and he's made those changes. So I think that shows a lot of growth. But I think it's been even quite a while since this video, and he's done some incredible things, right? He did really well with powerlifting, set world records. I believe he did some strongman, but I think he got injured. He did dabble in bodybuilding. But all in all, right, he's put his hand into a lot of different pies. He's really thrown himself at it. He's even doing some arm wrestling. And I respect that he goes hard at what he does, but he's an excellent businessman. And full, honesty, whenever I've met this guy, I've met him several times. I've had the honor or the privilege of training with him, of talking with him, and he is a fantastic human being. And I can only judge people off what they show me. So my experience with Larry is he's a great guy, and it's awesome to see that transition and that growth as he's, gone through the years, and now he's at a point where he's doing different things altogether. And it's great to see, and you should definitely check out his YouTube channel. It's absolutely one of my favorite channels on YouTube, as well as Shaw Strength. I do love Brian Shaw's YouTube channel, so definitely check out Larry Wheels and Brian Shaw. Moving on. 220 kilos. Let's see it. Let's see it. He's making big jumps with the warm-ups, I'll say that. 50 kilogram jumps. It's the real deal. 485 pounds. It'll be like an empty bar too. Efficiency. Look at this. Straight down. Paused. So efficient, so efficient. Very impressive. Very, very, very impressive. Now he's a strong guy. He's got quite decent technique. He's got quite decent technique. There's not a lot that I would say he needs to change at all. He's got really strong foundation. He's very efficient. He's very strong. He's jacked. And I think the big thing with Larry is his back is really strong. Now, I preach the importance of having a big, strong back for a bench press. Now, by having a big, strong back, we have the ability to really control the scapula and the shoulder blades and that position that we want to be in when the bar's on our chest. Now, Larry brings the barbell down really fast. It hits his chest at speed, but because he is so strong with that brace and in that upper back, he has the ability to maintain that perfect position, that strong position. So when he goes to press, it's just so easy. He's in such a powerful position. And I think that's one of the most impressive things about his technique, is that he's able to hold that position whilst bringing that barbell down nice and fast. And that's something I try to do with my own bench press. I think it's an extremely efficient way of doing things, but it's not for everybody. Okay, it's quite difficult to do that, which is why typically when I'm teaching bench press, I teach people to bring it down to a soft touch with tension. Once you learn that, then you bring that speed in, right? Then you bring that intent. But Larry is, you know, one of the best all-time bench pressers without a doubt, and I'm excited to see this 295 kilogram attempt coming up, because I've actually never seen it. I've seen the stuff that he's done with elbow wraps and his sleeves and all this, you know, the circus tricks, but this is a legitimate competition bench press raw. And if he hits 295, that's fucking impressive as hell. That's impressive as hell. Make sure you've liked this video, gang. Make sure you let me know if you're enjoying it. And I would appreciate it if you subscribed. Let's do this, Larry.
I'll need just a little more assist on the rack. Nice.
Another thing, communication with the spotter, fantastic. Let them know what you need. 270 kilograms. I'm assuming last warm up. Fuck, this is heavy, gang. Wow. Wow. Now, there's one big thing that he does tremendously, and that is he maintains the same bar speed no matter the weight. It's getting heavier, it's getting more challenging. That bar speed on the way down is staying the same, it's not getting slower, he's not becoming hesitant, and he has the exact same amount of control every single time. And he's doing large jumps with his warm-ups. He's making 50 kilogram jumps. I wouldn't recommend that. Even to Larry. I think that Larry could potentially do smaller jumps. But I'm not going to tell Larry that because he's such a fucking awesome bench presser and he executes everything so well. But it makes me a little bit nervous. But he's obviously fine with it. But if I was coaching someone, one of my athletes, even if they were really strong, right, I would still suggest making smaller jumps. My jumps on the bench press, typically no more than 40 kilograms, but usually 30 kilograms. I just may take an extra 1 to 2 sets for warming up. That's all. But what he does is extremely efficient. He's conserving a lot of energy. There's no wasted time. There's no wasted sets. There's no wasted reps. There's no wasted anything, right? Extremely efficient. And that's something to take note of when you're warming up. Are you doing too many fluff reps? Okay, are you working up to too much fatigue during your warm-ups? He's not hitting fatigue any of his warm-ups. He did a bunch of reps with an empty bar. He did a bunch of reps with 70 kilos. He probably did some activations before that. And then it's just setting that motor pattern, hitting those singles, being really specific. Every single rep from that 120 kilogram single warm-up up until that 270 kilogram single we seen just then looked pretty much fucking identical. That is goated bench pressing. This is really, really good bench pressing. Top set time. Let's have a look, gang. 295. Nearly 300 kilos. I believe his goal in comp is to go 300 plus, or it was to go 300 plus, which I think he hit. I think he hit it. Right now, gang, he's getting in the right headspace. This is a big deal. And as always, we all know terrible things can happen, right? This is high risk, high reward, high stakes. And we live for this shit. Larry is an animal. He has a fantastic mentality. He is a fucking bull. Let's get it, big dog. I want to see this. I want to see this, Larry. Wow. 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 Holy shit, son. Bro. Notice how the other guys aren't getting hyped. It goes either way. Sometimes people just witness something that is just beyond belief and they don't know what to do. They don't know, like, to what to react or how to react to that. They just kind of go quiet. It's crazy. That's how crazy that lift is. That is insane. And there was room in the tank. Excellent, excellent attempt selection. Whoever his coach was at the time, I think that was an excellent game plan for the final session. Perfectly executed. That was perfect execution of a heavy bench press session pre-competition. It wasn't an absolute max. He would be under quite a bit of central nervous system fatigue at the moment, and with a deload, it should be a little bit easier. So that's really impressive. I'm really impressed with Larry's bench press there. Now, I know Larry has done a lot of crazy shit in the past, right? His technique's been wild. He's done some crazy shit. But I really wanted to have a serious look at his bench press when he was taking it seriously. This is what Larry is truly capable of, plus more, right? He could have done more than this, but obviously he has other priorities and he's had other things come up in life. But I don't doubt that if Larry was to get back onto the powerlifting platform again, that he would be capable of pushing close to 700 pounds in competition on the bench press, which is just mind-blowing. So, you know, respect is definitely earned there. He has my respect. That is an impressive athlete. And not just that, he looks impressive. He is jacked. And that voice, that laugh, that deep laugh, it's fucking hilarious. Larry's a good dude. Make sure you go and check out his YouTube channel. I think it's very entertaining. He's doing some great things there at the moment where he is, you know, no longer necessarily the spotlight on his channel, and he's bringing other extremely talented individuals onto his YouTube channel and showcasing their talents, which is, I think, very interesting. So that's awesome. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational. I hope you learned something, or I hope you just enjoyed it. I am now 4 days post-op, still very much enjoying the pain medication, so apologies if I sound a little bit slow. Typically, I'm a little faster than that. That's what she said. You know what I'm saying? If you need programs, head to cultstrength.square.site. Best programs in the world. I would truly appreciate your support, and you would get hella strong and hella jacked. And that's what it's about. If you have any idea on who you want me to perhaps critique next, make sure you let me know in the comments. I'm looking for as much content to do as possible, so that will definitely help me. And until next time, gang, I think you know what to do. Go to the fucking gym, baby. Let's do it.